We have one of our very first builds that we're gonna take this camera along for the entire journey. Stoked to just film this whole process and watch this car evolve from where it's at now to where it's gonna be. Since 2020, I've had this idea of acquiring these cars and all the parts in order to do a 30-day build. Honestly, been a lot of planning to get to this point, and we're finally putting it to action because I have the car, I have the parts, now I'm making the time to just take this along to show you guys what it takes to get a car from looking like, you know, a junkyard car all the way up to a car that belongs at a car show like SEMA, and it's what it entails. Behind us, I have our 1998 Toyota Chaser JZX100. One of the first parts we're gonna throw on this thing is the Stance XR1 coilovers. There's a reason Stance has such a big appearance in Formula Drift. They just have the data, they have the spring rates, they know what's gonna work with the car. But what's unique about this coilover itself is it has, you notice, like a block up here. So we have the adjustability of raising and lowering the car about 1 to 2 inches. So it's nice because you get the luxury of a coilover system and an airbag all in one. So for those that think airbags ride like shit, guess what? This is the next best thing where you get both. We opted to go with the Tomei Extreme TI. Reason for that is because if you just look at how nice it looks with the blue tips, it's just a very well-made exhaust and they sound really good. Not to mention the fact that it's titanium. Check this out. You can't do this with many exhaust systems, so titanium is extremely light, and just overall I think titanium has a cool sound to it. We're not changing too much of this car exterior-wise, but we are going to throw these BN eyelids on, which give it a cool effect. It essentially, think of it as like a sleepy eye mod for the Chaser. This will kind of make the front end a little bit more aggressive, so cool little touch, and it's very simple to install. We're going to paint match those. The car is an automatic, so of course we don't want it to be an automatic, so we're going to swap into 5-speed. So we have the carbon option factory bezel with a shift boot, brand new from Toyota, along with a clutch pedal. Because with a 5-speed swap, you're going to need a clutch pedal. So this is bi-excessive, and you can see, of course, we're going to need to put in a master cylinder here, but it mounts in the sock location, and the quality of this is really good, really beefy. So this will do the job for the clutch pedal. Let's talk about the engine that's in this thing, and that's honestly one of the biggest downfalls on this. So we got the 1JZ non-turbo engine, and you can just see it just looks very anticlimactic and boring. So our goal is to rip this thing out, and not only that, this thing's made it to an automatic transmission. So we're gonna take everything out, tidy this thing up, really do a deep clean on the bay. I mean, there's a lot of boxes here that we're probably gonna get rid of like that. Obviously, we're not gonna get rid of the fuse box, but this is ugly. This vent is ugly, this radiator. I mean, we have a bunch of parts in front of it that we're gonna replace this with, but this is the engine that is coming out, and we're gonna put in all of this stuff right here. So we have the intercooler piping that is prefabbed up, and you can see it's just really dynamic welds on this thing. It says titanium piping, and the welds are just super minute. Really good job by the fabricator. So again, this is a direct bolt and play. It has the cool vibrant HD clamps on here. So these are really awesome clamps if you guys haven't had a chance to play with them. It makes removing pipes super easy. And of course we have the intake system as well, which this is gonna come right off the turbo. We want good air coming to the turbo, so we have a K&N mated on the end of this. So again, this is gonna be the full intake system. That's gonna be mated up to this intercooler. So the intercooler, of course, needs routing to it. This stuff is gonna be the routing to this, and this is gonna go in the front of the car. And it's gonna look freaking amazing. So along with the intercooler is the engine. So we're gonna need supporting mods for the engine. So we have all this stuff around it. We have a radiator that's gonna keep it nice and cool. A Link 4 G4 Plus ECU. I think of the ECU as like the brain of the car. When the brain is smart, you're most likely gonna have a really fast car, really safe as well. So I always say, never skimp out on the ECU. And Link is, again, pretty big in Formula Drift as well. So the Link G4 Plus this is one of the ECUs to use. So we're gonna go with Link, and it's gonna power this baby, get it to the power goals we want, and really make sure this thing is healthy. This is the engine that comes in a Tour V stock. So again, this is a Tour S car. We're turning it into a Tour V, and that's one of the biggest differences. So this isn't just an ordinary Tour V engine, because we have a bunch of bolt-ons on it. So you can't really see, but in there we have a fuel rail system by Radium with injector dynamics. I want to say they're 1300 XDS, so the latest and greatest injectors. And of course, we have the beautiful hot side. When you look at this, my homie Robbie Erickson, he actually has my S14 right now, fabbed this up, and this looks so good. Hey, shout out to Robbie if you end up watching this. Your work is killer, man. So he designed this whole exhaust manifold bottom mount, start to finish, and he just put all this stuff together, welded it up to mount this G30-550, one of the quickest spooling turbos on the market. So this is a really good street turbo. It's gonna spool down low and really keep your RPM range down low. Because for a street car, which that's what this is gonna be, you don't want your boost to be up above 6,000 RPMs. Like, you're not gonna be going 6,000 plus in traffic. At least I sure hope not. So this is gonna be a good down low car, maybe full spool at 3,000 and up. And of course, it's mated with a nice downpipe system. And of course, you have the wastegate here. This is what controls the amount of boost. So you have the wastegate pipe going back into the exhaust system, so it's not gonna be super loud and obnoxious. And then this is where it's gonna flow out to the exhaust system, the Tomei, which I showed you guys earlier. So this is gonna be a pretty cool setup. And that's probably one of my most favorite things about these JZs. Just having simple bolt-ons like this thing will probably spit out like close to 500-600 horsepower if you up the boost enough and run good fuel. So just with minor bolt-ons, we're gonna be chilling. So this is set. So with that being said, we need the proper supporting clutch systems and transmissions. So we have a brand new Clutch Masters light and flywheel, and of course a FX400, I wanna say, by Clutch Masters as well. It's a good mid-grade clutch, not gonna be super aggressive, but it's gonna support the power that we're gonna have through this, and it's sprung, so again, it's not gonna be aggressive. So we have this, that's gonna basically transfer the power to our transmission, and this transmission is brand new from Toyota, even has the stickers on it still, shifts like a dream. I mean, it's just crazy, you can get these transmissions brand new from Toyota still. One of the coolest aspects of this car is the interior. I mean, check this out. We got the lingerie finished Toyota. Look at that, you can even see the Toyota in the, whatever you call this thing. I call it lingerie because that's what it looks like, but it's just a factory option that you just don't see this nowadays. And it's cool that this car came with this. So very clean. I mean, underneath, I thought they might've been trying to hide something, but overall, the interior is essentially perfect. I'd say the only thing we're gonna do interior-wise is, of course, add another pedal. And as I was saying, we have that shifter bezel that I was showing you guys. This is gonna get ripped out, and we're gonna put in the new 5-speed shift boot with that new surround. But you can see, all of this has kind of like a yellowish hue to it. So it's it kind of looks like carbon Kevlar. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna sand this back, get it back to the true black carbon, re-clear it, put it back, and that's gonna make this thing look brand new. This is also kind of whack. We have like this like wood grain looking 90s thing. So we're gonna paint this black. Let's make this look a lot better. But other than that, this interior does not need much. I mean, the dash is perfect. Everything's perfect in this thing. And the fact that this car is gonna be 500, 600 horsepower and have like a perfect interior, full interior, it's gonna be a pretty awesome car. So again, not much is changing here, but I'll tell you what we're doing with the outside. As you can see, this paint is weathered as heck. I mean, it looks like some battery acid got on here, it's bubbling. And just overall, the paint's just not in the best condition. You can't really tell under this lighting, but this is a great color. We're not changing the color. We're just gonna refresh it is what I like to say, is we're gonna add our own twist to this factory color, which I think I wanna say it's KN6, but it's not. I think it's KN9 is the factory Chaser color. So we're gonna scuff this thing down, put our own twist to the I should probably look that up, KN9. I think it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait, it's a KN9. It's a KN9 color code. We're gonna add our twist to it. And the nice thing about this is this car is so straight, there's not many dents on this thing. The worst of it is gonna be this trunk. So we're gonna, of course, do a little bit of body work here. That's really it that's needed body work wise. We have a little bit of just some small minute dents on this back door, just very minor, like there's probably like 3 I see right off the bat. Here we have this molding that's gonna obviously need to be like body worked a little bit. But other than that, this car is mostly a scuff and shoot. So that's gonna be the awesome thing. I didn't even get into the wheels yet, because I've had this car for about 2 years now, and it was on basically Steelies, and I literally would look at the car, I'd be like, I have to change the wheels. So I got a little bit excited and we put the wheels that are essentially going on the car, which they're work T5Rs. I got these wheels from Toge Factory and they had the right spec for the Chaser. If you look down the side, these wheels are perfect fitment. This car is going to be a new vehicle in 30 days. It's very cool to think of. So if you guys want to watch all these parts, get onto this car, watch the whole process, hit the subscribe button down below and watch this thing transform.